哦，你是说喝得住哦？你是这样，那个这样，会开始吗？吃饺子有人会沾它酱油去。我以为你这是酱吃饺子用的，你是要喝用的。对，你要搞清楚你要做什么。你要播声音。
陈讲师好，
林老师业余好，因为
或许
我们刚刚才晚线香，所以已经公民
没关系，没关系，
佛家了。
你就
对，
等，
那我
或许是
们待会儿
等你们开始哈。
播完歌以后就可以开始了，播完第一首歌以后就可以开始。哦，好，谢谢林老
对，
师。
那等那个张姐她超时嘛哈。
哎，对，是的，他会先播一首歌，播完歌以后就开始。好，谢谢。
OK。
The land far and wide, with colors and lights, abundant as it is, I'm but a tree to be. Your love gives me strength, your nurture makes me great, for I will be strong and thrive to the top. The land far and wide, with colors and lights, abundant as it is, I'm but a tree to be. Your love gives me strength, your nurture makes me great, for I will be strong and thrive to the top. I know, no matter how far we've come, there'll always be another rough ride to come. Rains will fall, storms will come, I fear no more, for I'm now tall and strong. No matter how far we and thrive to the top.
Good evening, lecturers. Good evening, my dear Dao brothers and sisters. So, before the lesson, let's make 3 bows to God and Buddhas. First bow, second bow, third bow. 1 bow to 白水圣地, 1 bow to never resting Bodhisattva. Okay, please be seated. Today, we are honored to have lecturer Lin with us to share the topic, morality of the 6 parameters.
Okay, thank you, Miss Chen. Can you see my slide?
Like,
My PowerPoint slide. Can you see that? 看得到我的分享的画面吗？
好像
目
看不
前还没有。
没有，
对对对，
再来一次好了。once again，这样有没有？
有了，
有了哈。Okay, how about Manny? Can you see my PowerPoint slide?
I think so. Is it the Buddha Hall?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So, good evening, Master. Good evening, dear brothers and sisters. Before the sharing, I would like to express my deepest appreciation for the grace of heaven, virtues of our holy teachers, and blessing of Grand Senior Elder, 白水圣地 Senior Elder, the never-resting Bodhisattva, and for all the Tao transmitting masters, lectures, guidance, and especially all of you, that I can have this chance to share with you the topic, morality of the 6 parameters. Okay, about 2 months ago, we talked about I shared the topic, the giving, and then we talk about the 6 parameters, and the first parameters is giving, and second parameter is morality. And Gautama Buddha expound in the Lotus Sutras, and he said to the Bodhisattvas, he taught the 6 parameters, enabling them to attain the unsuppressed perfect enlightenment and to realize the wisdom of all forms. Gautama Buddha expounded the 6 parameters to the Bodhisattvas with the purpose of guiding them toward Buddhahood, enable them to attain the highest wisdom and enlightenment. It is not only the general outline of cultivation, but also the direction and goal of cultivation for all bodhisattvas. So what is 6 parameters? And let's look at what is parameters. Parameters means crossing from this shore of birth and death over the sea of suffering by means of Tao cultivation to reach the other shore of liberation. And 6 parameters means the 6 cultivation methods that can help one cross from the shore of birth and death over the sea of suffering to the shore of nirvana and liberation. Okay? 6 parameters, including giving, morality, passion, diligence, meditation, and wisdom. And last time we talked about giving, right? In the Sanskrit term, giving is called dana. And today, I will share with you the second paramita, morality. The Sanskrit term is sila. And why is morality placed second, right after giving in the 6 parameters? Because giving is the first step in learning to let go of attachment. It is an outward act of offering. On the other hand, observing precepts is an inward practice of self-discipline and restraint. It is like the foundation of a house. Without a solid foundation, no matter how beautiful the structure is, it cannot stand firm. Think about it. If a person lacks basic moral principles and self-discipline, even if they occasionally do good deeds, it's difficult to sustain, let alone go deeper into spiritual practice. Morality helps us establish a pure inner space, a sacred ground untainted by greed, anger, or ignorance. Only when this inner sanctuary is stable can we move forward with passion, diligence, meditation, and ultimately awaken wisdom. Morality, also known as precept. Some fellow Dao member might feel that morality sounds like a set of strict rules and limitation, as if it's meant to tie us down. However, morality is not merely an external constraint. It is more importantly an inner liberation. It is a broad and glowing path that brings us back to our true nature, our Buddha nature, to restore our fulfilled life, and ultimately to return to the realm of truth, to the embrace of God. Now allow me to humbly lead everyone in exploring the depth of the second paramita, morality. Together? Morality precepts. Let us take a look at the Sanskrit term for the morality. Sila. In Sanskrit, we call morality sila. And literary meaning of sila is coolness. Why is it called coolness? Because our action of body, speech, and mind have been bound by ignorance. We have committed countless wrongdoings and created negative karma. Once this negative karma is formed, it begins to burn our hearts, just like an inner heat. When our minds are overwhelmed by intense states, we become restless. When powerful greed, anger, and delusion arise and surge upward, they stir up afflictions that make us unable to sit or stand in peace. At such time, our minds are being burned by the fire of these 3 poison: greed, hatred, and ignorance. What can bring coolness to this burning? It's called sila, morality. This is the original meaning of sila. It brings inner peace by cooling the fires of affliction. Let's take a look at how the word sila, morality, is expressed in Chinese. Okay? Sila, morality. In Chinese, we call it 持戒, which means holding the precepts. Let's take a close look. 持 means holding. The meaning is maintain without losing, okay? And 戒 is precept, means prevent wrongdoing and stop evil. So 持戒 means holding the precepts, means abiding by the Buddha's precepts and etiquette and restrain oneself. So what is sila? Broadly speaking, precepts means to prevent wrongdoing and to stop evil. It functions like a nation's constitution or a school's code of conduct. For a law-abiding person, rules and regulations may seem unnecessary because they naturally do not violate them. In fact, such laws offer a sense of protection and peace of mind. Similarly, the Buddha's precepts are established for those who have not yet learned to safeguard their thoughts or who have developed negative habits. The precepts help regulate one's actions, speech, and thoughts, preventing the creation of unwholesome karma. By keeping the three karmas, body, speech, and mind, pure at all times, one aligns with the awakened mind, the true nature. Therefore, sila, precepts, is the foundation of Tao cultivation and the path to attain Buddhahood. In the Surangama Sutra, Gautama Buddha taught us, discipline the mind, and that is called sila, morality. From sila arises samadhi. Samadhi means meditation. From samadhi arises prajna. Prajna means wisdom. These are called the three non-outward studies. This reveals the three essential and sequential principles for spiritual cultivation, enlightenment, and realization. To awaken true wisdom, one must cultivate samadhi, meditative concentration. But in order to attain meditative concentration, one must first uphold precept. As the saying goes, when sila is impure, samadhi does not arise. That means when morality is impure, meditative concentration does not arise. If one's discipline is not pure, genuine meditative absorption is difficult to attain. Next, let me introduce the precept observed in our Tao society, okay? First is the 10 great vows. I think you all familiar with this, right? When we receive Tao, through received Tao, we receive the true transmission of heavenly decree, which leads us to fundamental embodied a life of clarity and inner peace. All of us are fellow Tao cultivators, right? We are blessed to have received great Tao and a divine initiation from our holy teacher, which opened our heavenly portal. This is not only the recognition of the path home, but also the beginning of our true nature, shining once again. During the Tao receiving ceremony, we have made the 10 great vows to God to show our sincerity. And that's why we can be transmitted with the three treasures and have our true nature enlightened by our holy teacher. Therefore, the 10 great vows we made become the most fundamental and essential precepts for us as a Tao cultivator. They are guiding principles for Tao cultivation. So do you still remember the 10 great vows? Many, do you remember 10 great vows?
Yes.
I think should be not very clear, right? Because 10 great vows, I think they announced by the Chinese and it just followed, right? Okay, anyway, let's review the 10 great vows together, okay? 10 great vows, the first vow is being sincere and dedicated to Tao. If we can always keep our original pledging heart, it will lay a solid foundation for us to attain Buddhahood. We should keep this sincere heart anytime and anywhere. And second, truthfully repent. This is for gentlemen. And truthfully cultivate for ladies. In the second vow, Buddhas mercifully remind gentlemen to truthfully repent. As for ladies, it is very important to truthfully cultivate, okay? And number 3, if I am deceitful or have any pretentious thoughts, we really need to watch our thoughts because our thoughts will lead to actions and then become habits. Habits will lead to character and finally become our destiny. So be aware of our thoughts. It's very important, okay? And number 4, if I retreat from difficulties, many difficulties also mean many possibilities. Therefore, after we overcome the difficulties, we will grow stronger and scale the new height, okay? And number 5, if I deceive or renounce the holy teachers or patriarchs, we should be very grateful to the holy teachers and patriarchs for giving us a brand new life, okay? And number 6, if I am disrespectful and despise the Tao seniors, today we can have the great opportunity to receive Tao and learn Tao in such a comfortable environment. It's all because of Tao seniors' sacrifice and contribution. So we should be respectful to all the Tao seniors, okay? And number 7, if I do not follow the rules and regulation of Tao, if we want to have a harmonious world and we want to go back to heaven safely, we should follow the rules and regulation of Tao, right? And number 8, if I disclose the heavenly secrets, this especially talk about the 3 treasures. The 3 treasures are heavenly secret. So we shouldn't disclose the 3 treasures to those who haven't received Tao. Okay, if you think the 3 treasures is very important, very good, we should invite your friend to temple to receive Tao. Then they can receive 3 treasures, okay? We must obey this rule, okay? And number 9, if I conceal the message of Tao or do not manifest Tao, it is God's will to save people from the drowning world. We should practice Tao in our daily life. Let Tao be with us, and then share this good message of Tao with our family and our friends. Okay? And number 10, if I do not perform according to my own ability, this is for gentlemen, and if I do not sincerely and diligently cultivate, this is for ladies, we need to cultivate according to our abilities and cultivate step by step till the end. Especially this is for gentlemen. Buddhas also mercifully remind ladies that the cultivation of inner virtues is very important. Okay? If we cannot keep our promise to fulfill the 10 great vows, it would be the greatest loss of our life because we lose this golden opportunity to step forward to attain the Buddhahood and return to heaven. Okay? And let's move on to the next precept. Our holy teacher said, 3 separate and 4 righteous illuminate the path back to heaven. They are the precepts and moral disciplines that all Dao cultivators must commonly observe. The 3 separate and 4 righteous are fundamental precepts that all Dao cultivators in the Wai-Yang era must observe together. 3 separate and 4 righteous guide Dao cultivators in learning, practicing, speaking, and conducting themselves on the path. The 3 separate refer to, first one, separate holy affairs from worldly affairs. One must clearly distinguish between the holy and mundane, staying firm in their commitment to the Tao and not being confused or misled by worldly temptations. A Tao cultivator should understand that the sacred represents an ideal state, while the mundane refers to habit and human desires. One must discern between the two and guard the pure, original intent of cultivation. Okay? So no business activities in temple. This is very important. Okay? And second is a separate men from women. I think you all know in a temple, men and women sit apart to avoid misunderstandings. In the Dao community, clear boundaries between male and female roles are of utmost importance. Interaction between men and women should be appropriate and respectful, and their hearts should be pure and untainted. Dao cultivators must eliminate emotional entanglements, uphold precepts and propriety, and maintain purity in both body and mind. Okay? And third, separate temple funds from personal use. Never mix temple money with private matters. The funds of the temple are not the same as private money or personal belongings. Whether it is donation for supporting the Tao or material offerings, all income and expenses must be properly recorded. Every transaction documents clearly, with absolute precision and transparency, and fully accountable to the Tao seniors in charge. Public funds of the temple must be used appropriately and must never be privately redirected for other purpose. Okay? And for the 4 righteous are, first one, behave with righteousness. Okay? Behave with righteousness refers to the behavior that is in accordance with propriety, refraining from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, and avoiding inappropriate practices. One's actions should not only be legal, but also align with the Tao. For example, you must purify yourself before worshiping Buddha, dressing neatly when entering the temple. Female Tao cultivators should avoid wearing low-cut or sleeveless clothes, wearing shorts, while burning incense or bowing is inappropriate. And the second, think with righteousness. Think with righteousness, there's 3 important issues. So first is no greed. Do not covet money or possessions that do not rightfully belong to you, while participating in secret duties. One must not harbor even the slightest thought of taking anything from the temple or for personal gain. And the second, no anger. A true cultivator should remain humble and not blame heaven or others. Like water, which nourish all things without pride and remain content, even in low or unclean places. The cultivator remains calm and undisturbed. And the third for the thing righteousness is no delusion. Do not blindly follow or cling to names, forms, or appearances. Truly understand that all appearances are illusory. Throughout your daily life, let your true self be in command. Awaken your innate wisdom and remain unaffected by external conditions. Okay? And number 3, speak with the righteousness. Refraining from false speech and harsh words is one of the most fundamental precepts for Tao cultivators, and also a vital discipline for any moral, upright, modern individuals. In addition to being cautious with their words and avoiding harmful language, Tao cultivators should take the initiative to assume the mission of speaking for heaven. All speech should be rooted in moral principles and truth, aimed at guiding and uplifting others, caring for all beings, and carrying the sacred responsibility for passing on and renewing the great Tao. Okay? And the number 4 for righteous is act with righteousness. A cultivator's thoughts and intention must be upright, honest, and aligned with morality. They do not blame others, disrespect elders, set traps for others, act arrogantly or indulgently, or steal or rob. These guidelines are intended to help Tao cultivators maintain inner and outer purity in daily life, correct their thoughts and behavior, and ultimately attain the goals of Tao cultivation. Okay? And let's move on to the next precept. Sage Law Lü said, the heavenly matter has earlier laid down the 15 disciplines. The intent of such establishment was out of the concern that the cultivating Buddha spirit would be lost without the ruling guidelines and compasses of the disciplines. In our Tao society, in addition to the fundamental precepts of the 3 separate and 4 righteous, there are also the 15 disciplines. Okay? And such law Lü remind us of the importance of observing these disciplines. Let's take a look at what these 15 regulations are. Okay? The first one is revere the Buddhas. In Chinese, 尊敬先佛. The Tao is real. The truth is real. And the heavenly decree is also real. Therefore, the Buddha is also real, right? If any of above is not real, the rest would also be false. Since we are cultivating ourselves with serious intent, we cannot be disrespectful to the Buddhas. We review them as if they are present. If our hearts are in the right place, the Buddhas will always be with us, okay? And the second, follow the seniors and mentor the junior. In Chinese, 尊前提后. Follow the seniors and mentor the junior. In Tao cultivation, we all have people who went before us and those who follow after us. We should respect the virtues of the senior cultivators and listen to their teachings. We should also look after new cultivators and passionately guide them on the right path. Okay? And number 3, be restrained, dignified, centered, and principled. 斋庄中正. Follow the rules. Be restrained, dignified, centered, and principled. We should restrain and discipline ourselves. Act with proper dignity. Hold to the center and maintain principles without compromise. Okay? And number 4, follow rules and observe boundaries. In Chinese, 循规蹈矩. Following rules can make one well-rounded. Observing boundaries can make one morally upright. If we follow all the rules in the Tao, we can cultivate without crossing boundaries and become the honorable person. We can be both well-rounded and morally upright. And number 5, accept responsibilities. In Chinese, 责任负起. Since we are Tao cultivators, we have a heavy task to be benevolent. We need to take on this responsibility with sincerity, so we would not be remiss in our duties. Okay? And number 6, emphasize the divine over the mundane. In Chinese, 众圣轻凡. Enlightened people all understand that the greater whole is the most important, while personal affairs are not as important. That is why we must emphasize the divine over the mundane. Although we usually spend more time on mundane matters than divine duties, we need to make sure that mundane will not interfere with the divine. Okay? And number 7, be courteous and kind. In Chinese, 谦恭和蔼. If we can be humble and courteous to the older generation, we will receive the benefit of their teachings. If we can be nurturing and kind to the younger generation, we will earn their love and respect. And number 8, do not discard the secret admonition. In Chinese, 勿弃圣训. This message, written by the Buddhas, are to be valued and cherished. They must never be discarded. Keep them with care, for they are the power to protect us against being tested by temptations. Okay? And number 9, do not obsess over appearances. In Chinese, 勿着形象. If we are too attached to appearance, it will tie us down and keep us from being able to transcend beyond. If it is the truth, we should have faith in it. If it is the Tao, we should advance upon it. If it is the heavenly decree, we should reveal it. Nothing else matters. And number 10, keep all procedures transparent. In Chinese, 手续必清. When we work with financial accounts, we must keep everything clear. When we manage our work, we must keep everything organized. Okay? Number 11, departing and returning. In Chinese, 出面反告. We should let the seniors know before going on a journey and ask for their words of advice. We should also let them know we will return safely, so they wouldn't worry about us. Okay? Number 12, do not disrupt the system. In Chinese, 不乱系统. Our golden thread system maintains order. so that leaders and followers never overstep their boundaries. This is a principle that runs through everything we do, okay? And number 13, protect public property. In Chinese, 爱惜公物. Items meant for public use, such as books to be given away, belong to everyone. They come from the resource donated by fellow Dao cultivators. Let us not be stingy when we use them for a good cause. At the same time, when it is not necessary to use them, we should not waste anything, not even a needle or thread. Okay? And number 14, be lively in handling affairs. In Chinese, 活泼应试. This means being energetic and upbeat is natural for the positive mind. When we work on tasks in the Tao, we should value this active, dynamic approach. When we sense there is something missing or imperfect, we should have the initiative to take action and find solution, okay? And number 15, be cautious in words and actions. In Chinese, 谨言慎行. If we remain quiet when we should say something, we may miss the chance to communicate. If we talk when we should remain quiet, we may miscommunicate. A man of honor does not make such mistakes, okay? He proceeds cautiously, as if standing by a cliff or over thin ice, because he understands that loose talk and improper contact can lead to failure. Okay, these are the 15 disciplines that we should uphold. Okay? And regarding the 15 disciplines, immortal Han Zhongli said, do not underestimate these 15 disciplines. They are an excellent ladder to heaven. If you follow them accordingly, becoming a Buddha is more than achievable. And Sejlo Guan said, the disciplines are the rules of heaven. If one cannot uphold them, then how can one return to the original home? And our holy teacher said, when prudently adhering to the 15 disciplines, this will be more than sufficient in achieving Buddha. Okay? So next precept is Jigong Living Buddha speaks on the 5 precepts. Jigong Living Buddha speaks on the 5 precepts refer to the compassionate and insightful words delivered by our holy teacher via the holy medium in 1991. Through humorous, approachable, and practical language, our holy teacher illustrated how cultivators can embody the Bodhisattva path in their daily lives. He expounded on how white young disciples should practice and illuminate the brilliance of their lives through the cultivation of the 5 precepts within their everyday existence. Our holy teacher compassionately began by saying, precepts are meant to help everyone attain liberation, not to impose restriction on you. Your precepts are like the tracks of a train. If you go off the train, it becomes dangerous, right? The 5 precepts as taught by Jigong Living Buddha include abstain from killing. Abstain from killing means respecting the lives of others, as well as protecting all life. And the second, abstain from stealing. It means respecting the property of others, as well as being generous and helpful. And the third, abstain from sexual misconduct. It means respecting the body of others, as well as respecting their integrity. And then is to abstain from false speech. It means respecting the reputation of others, as well as comforting and encouraging others. And number 5 is abstain from intoxicant. This means respecting our own intellect, as well as learning to be wise and helping others to maintain clear thinking. Intoxicants including alcohol and drugs, okay? And finally, 3 treasures. The 3 treasures we receive actually play a crucial and essential role in the practice of holy precepts, okay? The 3 treasures that we have received represent not only the highest level of precepts observance, but the most convenient and accessible method for cultivating discipline in our daily lives. First one is heavenly portal. This is where our Buddha nature resides. It is the center of calm and stillness. Guarding the heavenly portal is guarding our true nature, preventing deluded thoughts and attachment from arising. This is the most fundamental way of observing precepts of the mind, your intentional karma, okay? And then is the second one, the heavenly password. By keeping the sacred password in mind and silently reciting it, when our thoughts are scattered, we can gather and focus our spirit, preventing the creation of negative karma through speech and thought. And then the heavenly hand sign. When we embrace the covenant during moments of crisis, we not only seek divine protection from Buddhas, but also remind ourselves to return to our true nature, to maintain right mindfulness, and not to give rise to evil intentions. Okay? Okay, now it's conclusion. And I would like to conclude today's sharing with our Holy Teacher's teachings. Okay? Our Holy Teacher said, take the precepts as your guide to avoid negligence. When you uphold the precepts, you are not doing it for others to see. You are doing it for yourself. Is your Dao cultivation just a show? If you are overly cautious only when others are watching, but become lax when no one sees, then that's merely superficial effort, isn't it? Right? And also our Holy Teachers also remind us to uphold the precept well, one must be mindful of speech. If one cannot even observe the precept of noble silence, how can one possibly keep the other precepts? Okay, thanks. Thank you for all your attentive listening. May the heavenly joy fill your hearts, and may your Tao cultivation progress steadily. If I made any mistakes in the sharing, I beg God and Buddha's forgiveness. And all the lecturers and seniors can give me suggestions and comments. Thank you very much for your listening. Thank you.
Today, we are honored to have Lecturer Lin with us to share on the topic. Sorry. We sincerely thank Lecturer Lin for the profound and wonderful sharing, and we also extend our gratitude to our Dao brothers and sisters for your presence. So, any questions to discuss?
Thank you. So far, no questions from us. Thank you.
Okay. Before we end class, please stand up. Let's make 3 bows to God and Buddhas. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. And 1 bow to 白水圣地. 1 bow to never resting Bodhisattva. Let's perform the departure ritual. 恭送佛家。
好，1 bow。
1 bow, please.
好，谢谢李老师，感谢各位同学。Thank you everybody. Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Lin.
So much.